Okay, everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to finally finish up that quest involving the big ass tree over in the Rhodocrine forest or jungle. For this, you need to pick up your Zygarde and take it with you. So locate it, and then this will be my team. I'll explain it when I actually get there. I have played through this quest already. This team is capable of getting through all the battles, but I will have to change around some movesets and items. Alright. So with that, I don't think... Yeah, nothing here on the right side of the nightclub. So we just need to head over to the tree. So promptly exit the nightclub. Will we have a chance to change out our Pokemon? We will, so I was just trying to remember how it was. Alright, anyway, so head over to the Barrel Ward. Head on to the left. Okay, then head on up. Looks like it's hailing for me. I hope that won't be an issue when I'm on a battle. Here you can talk to these two just for some dialogue. Yeah, so don't go through there. You won't be able to progress past the barrier we saw earlier, so just want to head over to the left here. And when we can head up into the Underroot, do so. And if you remember correctly, Shelly will be down here. So, recommend saving just before this. I'm saving here. Do so if you want to do... I recommend saving in the middle of this cutscene if you want to... It'll just save you time, basically. Alright, so this Ditto here is only obtainable if you collected at least 50 Z cells. This Ditto will have perfect IV, so it is fantastic for breeding. Honestly, I think you should do this quest as soon as possible when you have all 50 Z cells, just to get this Ditto as early as possible, because at the junction that we are attaining this Ditto, there is literally like, what, 1 or 2 battles and then it's over this game. So if you got the 50 Z cells though, you can definitely complete this quest earlier, I think. Although, if you look at the quest thing for, if you look at the quests on the Reborn wiki for Zygarde, there's like a huge block of text explaining when you can do the quest and like what you can unlock by getting all the Z cells. But I'm pretty sure after you complete the Giratina quest and have 50 Z cells acquired from someplace, or rather you can complete the Zygarde quest ASAP. Alright, anyway, I'm going to reset for a shiny because why not? So it's not a legendary, but might as well since it is a special Ditto. Okay, not shiny on first attempt, so I'll be right back. Okay, managed to get a shiny Ditto, so I'm just gonna keep out of that. Say no. Alright, so with that, we can just head up back to the surface and continue with the quest. Here is your last chance to change out your Pokemon. Well, not your last chance, but it's a good opportunity before you talk to Heather here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll also explain my team and my thoughts on why I want to bring it. Alrighty, so let's just move this Ditto. Also prove that it is max in IVs, or perfect IVs. As you can see, I even got a neutral nature, which isn't too bad, which is actually pretty ideal, because I think for the parent, the nature passes on, or one of the two, so you can just put whatever necessary item on the parent that lets you like copy your ability over, and then you can do all the breeding stuff. I didn't do any breeding. My first playthrough, I traded in a Ditto at around the post-game starting, I think, and I just used it to breed perfect IV Pokemon for whatever I needed to, and then I use any negative Z imprints or cell imprints for Trick Room Pokemon and stuff like that. So yeah, because breeding, well, I only realistically did breeding when you get access to the incubator. That really speeds things up, especially with the Ditto, so that's when I gave myself the Ditto. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, you can still use it here. I just haven't, right, because I've been using debug, but like all the Pokemon I have are, you know, like you can just attain them the same way. It's just, it would just save time by using debug, and I'm not like cheating anything. Like, I could just get the Pokemon myself and breed it, but that would take like absolute ages and it's just not worth, especially for the purpose of a walkthrough. So, but yeah, the Ditto is here now. Alright, now then, as for my team, I have Gardevoir. Ooh. I want to have Mimikyu at the start, I think. So Gardevoir is the same as usual, holding a Pixie Plate, Timid Nature, Calm Mind, Psychic Blast, or Psychic Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, with Telepathy still. It's going to be useful because of Psychic Terrain. Yes, that's what I'm using it for. Mimikyu has a lot of options due to, you know, Disguise, Ghostium, or having access to Z moves, and being Ghost Fairy is really good, on top of having, you know, Swords Dance. We have Kartana here. Kartana just has really good coverage, obviously beast boosted with its ability, and really just good offensive stats. And moving on, honestly, assist and special defense kind of useless. This thing is literally paper. Moving on, we just have Blaziken. Here I have it with Swords Dance. I will be switching around Swords Dance to other moves, and same thing with its item. We have Aegislash, just, you know, just a good Pokemon. I recommend using a PP All for King Shield, and even Toxic. Holding Leftovers, yeah, nothing too crazy here. 0 in speed, same as always. Now that my Aegislash is built very defensively, with some tiny bit attack points in special attack, it really doesn't matter whether it's physical or not. If anything, it being fully defensive like this lets me change out its moves, which I will be doing, just in the case of Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is a physical move, but like, you know, 2 points in special attack or attack, like, it's not going to change how this affects anything. Then we have Alakazam. I will be changing out Dazzling Gleam for Calm Mind at some point, otherwise it can Mega Evolve or it can have a hold a Life Orb. So it's just a really good Pokemon because it's, you know, has disgusting stats on top of holding a Life Orb, and when it Mega Evolves it's also very menacing. So yeah, basically I have just really strong Pokemon here. 3 of them can Mega Evolve, but I only plan on Mega Evolving 2, and then I have an Ultra Beast, an Uber's Pokemon, and then I mean, just Mimikyu. Mimikyu is honestly like kind of the weakest, so to speak, but it will have its place with Disguise. Alright, so let's save, and then head on back to the tree. Honestly, for this battle, I really recommend having some Pokemon that can use Ghost and or Dark type moves, on top of also Fairy just being a really busted type. And that's really about it. Sweeping is always good. Trick Room is really good. I just decided to go with this team because, I don't know, it suits what I'm trying to do. So, I do recommend Trick Room, like for all other battles though. Okay, these two here won't really do anything for this quest. Same thing for Heather, so we're just gonna go ahead and go up. At any point, if you want to head back down, you can talk to Heather. So this is your somewhat last chance before you can back out. It's not a gauntlet of battles, but, you know, in case you don't want to, like, keep swapping out everything. Let me just make sure all my Pokemon have hold items. Okay. Cool. So here at the top here, there are some items we can actually pick up. So if we go up and left, and then cross under this waterfall, we can pick up a Diancite. So it's pretty cool. You can Mega Evolve Diancite now. It's a pretty decent Pokemon. Not my first pick since it's very rock and is 4x weak to steel, and steel is a relatively common type. So, all right. So up here we will have a battle. Just before the battle, you also have a chance to change your team if you so desire. We will be using that light charge later, obviously. Okay, now is your last chance to change out your team before this battle, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started now. Okay, so with that, we're up against Umbral, Noel, and Anomaly Xerneas on this battle. So, as you can see, we're up against a Ribombee and a Cosmo. If you look at the moveset here, you can see this Cosmo has a very interesting set. 20 magical seeds, so it gives it a +2 special attack, and then the Ribombee has Psych Up. So, essentially what the Cosmo is going to do is going to spam Cosmic Power, and then the Ribombee will copy it through Psych Up. So ideally, you want to take out the Cosmo before the Ribombee can do its disgusting setup. So yeah, as you can see, also these Cosmo are Pulse, and of course all of Noel's Pokemon are also Pulse due to shenanigans. Yeah. So what we are going to do is try and take out Cosmo first. Okay, looks like Mewtwo is a bit slow, which is not good. Okay, not gonna lie, this might be a bit cooked. That 4x special attack is pretty crazy. Okay, luckily Lugia is only stacking physical defense, or special defense, so we can go for this. Tapu Lele. Okay, let me see. One of the best moves were Tapu Lele. I should have went for a Sword Dance on Mimikyu though, I had a chance. That might screw me over. maybe I can go for one more Coal Mine on you. Go for this on the Lugia because it is really tanky. Wait, okay, Shadow Claws first. The base power of the move does actually affect the Z Crystal move, so we want to not mess that up. This thing is way too threatening right now. Oh. Okay. Ooh, speed decrease with Coal Mine kind of sucks. Let's send in Kartana. Try to get some attack boost going. Nice. Kartana's pretty decently fast, especially with this nature. Okay, Blaziken, we all know what that thing can do. Speed boost. Has Protect. Not much I can do against that. Go for just Dazzling Gleam, I guess, and then Leaf Blade the Mew. Because I think that Blaziken's gonna protect. Yep. Nice. Get an attack boost on Kartana. Giratina is out. Spooky stuff. We're just still gonna go for Dazzling Gleam on you. Psycho Cut Blaziken, I guess. Okay, goodbye Kartana. The minus speed on my Gardevoir mattered there. Up next, Clefable. Okay. The best coverage on my Alakazam. I don't have any Steel or Poison type moves except for Aegislash. Oops, I bumped the mic, sorry. Yeah, Blaziken's not the best. As you can imagine, there's a lot of Psychic Fairy Pokemon lurking about here, so this Blaziken is not the greatest. Especially with the moves I have it on. Let's see. Okay. Let me think. Let's just go with Aegislash. Can't go wrong here. Right, so there's the other Cosmome. Let's take a look at this Clefable. It does have Psych Up, so we want to take out that Cosmome. Let's Gyro Ball this Clefable. I think that should be enough power. Oh, it has Sturdy. But it goes for Moonblast. Oh, it has Unaware, so it can... disregard my... Dang. Should've... Alright, let's just Mega Evolve. Go for Dazzling Gleam, I guess. King Shield. Wow. Alright, up next is Spiritomb. Just have to go with Dazzling Gleam and then Gyro Ball. Okay, that's a lot less damage than I was expecting. Oh, goodbye. Ooh, boy. Alright, well, there's a lot more Pokemon remaining too. So, I think this is a loss, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is a loss. Okay, I need to come up with a better strategy. I think focusing down one side would be best. Probably this side with Noel's Pokemon. So, I'm gonna just keep redoing this battle till I win, so I'll do post commentary, so I'll be right back. Alright, so here begins my post commentary for this battle. So I still decided to start with Gardevoir and Mimikyu. My team is basically the same, just going to be taking slightly different actions. Here I go for Calm Mind, and here I go for the Sword Stance, which I should have done in the first battle. The other side does their Psych Up strat. Yeah, Causing Power, blah blah. So here, I just decided to one-shot the Cosmo. I think for this battle, if you focus down one side so that you can end up in a 1v2 or a 2v1, that would be best. But I just decided to leave with a Bomb BP. So I take out the Cosmo, out comes Lugia. Okay. I go for another Calm Mind on Gardevoir. Get hit by Dazzling Gleam. Doesn't do too much to Gardevoir. Disguise. The Mimikyu takes one hit. I was hoping to obviously one-shot the Lugia here, but that's a little hard with multi-scales, so it gets another boost up, but honestly, whatever. Here, if we go Dazzling Gleam, get some good damage on both. Unfortunately, my Mimikyu goes down. The Icy Wind is a bit annoying because my Gardevoir is slower, even with Telepathy now, so it does. I think it does get outsped at one point, but we still manage to pull through. So here I send out Kartana, you know, because Robbie is weak to Steel type, I get knocked very low. My Kartana unfortunately goes down. You would think I'll lose here, but I actually don't. So I take out the Lugia. Out comes Alakazam. Then out comes the Xerneas. Here I just go for Dazzling Gleam and Psychic the Ribombee because I consider it more of a threat now. Get the Fairy Aura on Alakazam, which is actually really huge. One-shot the Xerneas now. Out comes Blaziken and Tapu Lele. So here, I just Moonblast and just Psychic the Blaziken. For some reason, Blaziken did not protect, and that's probably because my Gardevoir is 1 HP. So that's actually beneficial for me. My Gardevoir still outspeeds everything, so it's Calm Mind, it gets through. Psychic just one-shots Blaziken. Out comes Cosmo and Giratina. Here I go for double Dazed Dazzling Gleam. Just because there's 2 Pokemon on the field. So I think the Fairy Aura actually matters a lot on the Alakazam. So really good for us. Alright, Dazzling Gleam, yep. Yeah, from here it's just pretty smooth sailing. Here becomes 1v2, so we just use Psychic on Pokemon. That is whatever is over there, just because, you know, single target, boosted, stab on the field, Calm Mind, all the fun stuff. And that is how we win this battle, so yeah, nothing much to it. Okay, literally the attempt right after my last one, I was able to succeed, so honestly I don't really remember, but post-commentary will handle it. Alright. So with that, get ready to save. Okay, no shiny first try, so you know the drill. Alright, I was able to get a shiny. That wasn't too bad because I'm just literally resetting here. I don't have to go through a battle, so pretty cool. Okay, with that, make sure to save. And then we want to continue. So, get this light shard. And then, for the next part of this quest, of course, if we catch a Xerneas, then there is something else awaiting us. So, we need to head to the bottom right, opposite to the top left. Very fitting. Once again, you will have a chance to save just a little bit before, so don't worry about accidentally starting the fight and not being able to back out. Bit of a long pause on that, alright. Alright, save, and then head on in. realized I forgot to change up my team. We'll go through this battle, but I'll show you post-commentary afterwards, because I do need to change up my moveset a little bit, and also my starting Pokemon, so I kind of messed up. Actually, let me just reset here. Alright, so for this, I am going to teach Calm Mind to my whatchamacallit, Alakazam. You teach Calm Mind to Kartana. That's actually the most useless move ever. Instead of Dazzling Gleam. Let me just make sure that's what I want to do. Actually, no. I want to change out Focus Blast. Excuse me. Alright, and then let me check my other Pokemon. So, who do I want to send out first, right? Okay. For this, I think I want to send out Mimikyu first. Putting the Ghost EMZ is fine. Pixie Plate on you is fine. Alakazam, Mega Evolving is fine. Moveset is fine. Kartana. Moveset. Instead of Psycho Cut, I could swap it out here. Yeah, I will do that. Psycho Cut is pretty useless on it. Sacred Sword isn't the greatest, but it's usable. Unfortunately, I do think Psycho Cut, I don't remember what I did, but I do remember I did give Night Slash to Kartana, and that is what I'm going to be doing here anyway. Hopefully Psycho Cut is in here. Let me just check real quick. I know Sacred Sword is not. Let's check. Yeah. Oh, Psycho Cut is a move I can relearn through this. Okay, cool. Sacred Sword is the tutor move. Wait, no it isn't. I can just relearn that too. Okay, cool. Alright, we're gonna teach Night Slash instead of Psycho Cut though. Because Psycho Cut won't be as useful compared to Night Slash for this particular battle. So we want Dark type moves instead of Psychic type, because yeah. Alright, with that, I'm actually gonna start the fight now, so let's see how this first attempt goes, and if I need post commentary later. I just realized I forgot to save. Oh well. Alright, so this Cresselia is really bulky, so basically a chance instead of Swords Dance. Goes for Side Shock, whatever. Do I want to use it on this now? Sure. So as you can see, yeah, this thing is just bulky. It definitely wants to stop a physical sweeper via Light Screen. We are in singles on the Starlight Arena. I forgot to mention that we were on Psychic Terrain in the last battle in doubles. Alright, up next is this really annoying Lunala. So due to its Shadow Shield and Moongeist Beam, I don't have to worry about Moongeist Beam since I already lost my Disguise, but that ignores abilities, so my Disguise Mimikyu is useless. This thing is also faster than me, so I can't actually go for Shadow Claw, and the Shadow Shield also prevents me from one-shotting it anyway, so I kind of just have to go for Shadow Sneak. Now then, there's a slight issue that it does get Wish, so I'm actually going to send out Alakazam here, Mega Evolve, and go for Shadow Ball. So I will copy the Shadow Shield and take it down before it gets its Wish off. Up next is Yveltal. This thing wants to use Sucker Punch on you, that is why I have Calm Mind. Alright, and then with that, we go for a Dazzling Gleam on it, because Psychic's not going to hit it, and Shadow Ball is not that effective. With that, I should be able to take it down despite how beefy it is, due to +2. That's why I have Calm Mind. Alright, up next is my Milotic. This thing is pretty beefy. This is where my Kartana would be useful, but I think I have enough power in Psychic boosted with Stab, Calm Mind, Alakazam to not one-shot it. Okay. There goes my Shadow Shield. Wish. Oh, it's really gonna stall me out here. Oh, never mind, I got a critical hit. Okay, cool. Alright, up next is Solgaleo. Don't really have good moves against it. So, we're gonna have to search it up. PokeDB. Let's see, Ghost. Okay, Ghost is the best move. See, okay. Psychic, 1/4, yep, lots of Fairy. Alright. I wouldn't have picked Shadow Ball if I didn't look up its type chart. This might do enough damage, I'm not sure. Okay, cool. Ouch. Alright, up last, or not up last, but up next is Xerneas. Anyway, you might see a common trend in some of the Pokemon we're seeing here. Xerneas, this thing wants to spam Geomancy. We're not going to give it that chance. Luckily, Alakazam is like one of the fastest Pokemon. Alright, nice. Good sweep. Yeah, really important to have Calm Mind on a sweeper like Alakazam to dodge out the Yveltal and its Sucker Punch. Otherwise, yeah, just a good, just a really strong Pokemon for this. Alright. Get ready to save. I'm sure you can anticipate what's coming next. Okay, did not get a shiny, so I'll be right back. Okay, that took me a while. I just found out that my Gardevoir will one-shot it, so I have to switch Pokemon here. The real question is, to what? To what indeed? Alright, let's go send that Cortana, I guess. Ow. Oh. Oh, this game's very tough. Let's go Smart Strike. Shouldn't be enough damage. Okay, has to recharge. I think that's as low as I'm getting it. I don't have any status moves. Oh my goodness. Sir. I guess Slash is pretty good for this. Let's go King Shield. Okay, fine. Oh, wow. Great luck. That's my first one that I encountered that was shiny, actually. I think this is the first time I first tried it. Maybe I'm misremembering previous episodes. It's been so much. Cool. Oh. Gonna spam save so I don't forget. Alright, for this next bit, you don't need to worry about healing your Pokemon. So, there is one more battle, I know. It's kind of stupid. You would think it'd be over. Anyway, so don't worry about healing your team. I will be changing it around just a slight bit. Alright, so for Alakazam, oops, what am I trying to do? Okay. We are going to give it a Life Orb instead, or her, I guess, in this case. Blaziken shall hold a Blazikenite. And then we will also teach it Earthquake instead of Swords Dance. Let me just take a look. Yeah, the thing is, I don't. Oh, I just want to check, cause yeah, I didn't have it go through the move tutor or for the hard scales, cause I think I haven't needed to for my Blaziken. Damn, that would be really useful here. Okay, anyway. We're still gonna teach it Earthquake. I was just deciding whether or not to get rid of one of the other two moves for Swords Dance instead, right? Either one of those, but alas, that is not a choice for me, so we will get rid of Swords Dance here. I think the other two moves are just slightly too valuable. Honestly, High Jump Kick is honestly the most useless here. So I could keep the Swords Dance. Actually, hold up. Let me back out. Save one more time, and then teach. Actually, hold up. Let me change up my other Pokemon first. Do I want you holding the Ghost DMZ? What else could you possibly have? No. Pixie Plate is fine. Kartana. Night Slash is fine. Sacred Sword is useless. I was thinking of Sword Stance on you. Yeah, Sacred Sword won't be useful, so... Alright. Before I do the whole Earthquake and possibly get rid of High Jump Kick on Blaziken and keep Sword Stance, I will change out... Yeah, I can learn to Psycho Cut, and I can relearn Sacred Sword, so I'm going to get Sword Stance on it. Okay. Instead of Sacred Sword. And that also reminded me, I actually want to teach Shadow Claw instead of Shadow Ball to my Aegis Slash. We can always reteach Shadow Ball, so I'm sure this will clue you in as to perhaps the field will be on. And yeah, let me just check real quick. Ah, yes. That's right, this field is kind of annoying. We'll have to go against. Is there any other ghost type move that we can be learning here? Or a dark type move on my Alakazam? Because that would be best. Knockoff, no. Foul play, no. Knockoff, no. Torment, Beef, Fling, Embargo. Nightmare. Yeah, there's nothing else. Alright, GG's. Alright, my Alakazam would not be nearly as useful. Okay. Now then, finally, we will teach Earthquake to Blaziken. Okay, save. This is taking forever because I just don't want to really mess this up. I can always teach Blaziken High Jump Kick back later. I think Sword Stance would and Earthquake would be more useful, and High Jump Kick will not have much use here, so we're going to do that. A bit sacrilegious, but that's just the nature of the fight. We can always just relearn everything anyway. Alright, save, and then we're going to head up. You have a few more chances to save. Just before talking to Noel is the best place probably, so talk to Noel. Okay, well you don't have to talk to him, but we just might as well. I did forget, I do want to put my Aegis Slash out front. Alright, save. Noel has nothing else to say. Alright, you'll be locked into a sequence when you try to leave via the elevator, as you can see Heather is no longer here. Taking a bit to save. Yeah, this battle pretty much comes out of nowhere. Anyway, we're up against Umbral Eclipse here in singles on the rainbow field. So this is a pretty devastating fight, honestly the hardest one, which is pretty funny considering we're on the doubles against some Uber's Pokemon. Of course, we will be in the same situation here anyway, but you know what I mean. Alright, so the rainbow field has some annoying ass shenanigans that kind of counters our strat. If you go in the field notes, you'll notice that ghost type moves aren't that, or special type ghost type moves, and the Z crystal move are not very good, along with some dark moves. There's a whole bunch of moves that are boosted here on this field, but arguably pretty useless in the terms of what we're trying to do. Then all the other effects basically benefit them more than they do us. I can't take much advantage, unlike the other previous battles with this field here. Big JRA recommends to set up a special sweeper, especially if they have rainbow field boost moves. We do have that, but it's a little bit hard due to some of the Pokemon we'll be facing. Now then, the reason I have Aegislash here is because it is my best lead against this Milotic, surprisingly, not my Cortana, and you'll see why. So, what we want to do is King Shield first. We will take one Hydro Pump, go for Toxic. Right, and now I'm sure you can see my strategy. The marble scale on this Milotic is always active, so the status doesn't really matter. And you also notice that's why I swapped out Shadow Claw for Shadow Ball, because Shadow Ball is pretty much useless here as compared to Shadow Claw, at least on my Aegislash. So now that this is a slight issue, this is a slightly RNG strat because I want to avoid getting hit by Hydro Pump. We have the King Shield here. It would be nice if we could predict the recover, but that is also why I recommend having a bunch of PP and King Shield. Alright, up next is Necrozma. This thing has a really annoying ability on this because it's boosted here. So I was hoping to get off Toxic on it, but alas, I cannot. Alright, the Seeds grant Wish on here, but I don't have to worry about it too much. So I'm actually going to send in Gardevoir here and go for Calm Mind. Because Photon Geyser uses whichever is your highest attack stat. Okay, well, this is just gone poorly now. We're going to have to go for Moonblast here. I don't have a choice. The thing is, though, okay, I was able to one-shot it, but I won't be able to outspeed this thing. It's gonna go for extreme speed. I'll go with Mimikyu for Sword Stance. For Sacred Fire. Oh wow, the burn is just egregious. Alright. Okay. It has the leftovers too, so it's pretty bulky. This is where my Blazing comes in. Make you go for a Protect. I want to go for a Sword Stance, because I think I can take a Sacred Fire. Yeah. Into an Earthquake. Okay, didn't go for Extreme Speed, which is nice. Get another Speed Boost. Up next is Audino. This thing turns into Fairy type. I'm pretty sure Fire type moves are not as effective against Fairy. We're just going to check real quick though. Yeah, Fairy moves are not very effective. Alright, cool. This thing is pretty bulky, so probably gonna go for Hidden Power Fairy to try and take me out. So we need to try and take it out here, hopefully. Okay. Okay. Nice. Alright, what's up next? Lunala. I should outspeed it now. I could go for Earthquake or Flare Blitz. Flare Blitz will do more damage. I get knocked out anyway, because I can't one-shot it through Shadow Shield, so. Luckily, it doesn't have a seed to get Wish back. This is the issue now. I see. Cortana, I don't think has enough. It might. Okay, it does. I think it does. Alright. Last is the Chandelier, and as you can see, This is arguably the weakest Pokemon next to Audino, IMO. Oh. I should be faster than it still, so... Plus boosted. Yep, there we go. Nice. Ooh, this battle actually gave me the most difficulty, so the fact that I can one-shot it here is actually really, really nice. My Aegis last strat did not go as well as in other battles. Before I could have it like take on 3 different Pokemon, but it couldn't take on the Necrozma. That's why I also have it as a lead to lead into Necrozma, because even if I lead with Kartana and one-shot the Milotic with Leaf Blade, I won't be able to take out the Necrozma afterwards, even because it's really RNG, because Kartana has 0 special defense, so if I try to go for a Sword Stance on the Milotic, and I get hit by Hydro Pump, I'll get one shot. So it's not very consistent lead. And even if I go for Leaf Blade, sometimes I don't... I think I need to rely on a crit, which is a very low percentage, so this is the best strat possible. Okay, with that, yeah, we're done with this quest. There's a few more things we have to be done with, but no more battles or catching any Pokemon, so... Alright, here you want to accept the fast travel request. I'm going to assume Noel stays here. I'll check after we return to the nightclub. So accept this fast travel request because there's nothing else to do up here. Okay, so there's actually one more thing involving Eclipse. If you remembered, Eclipse mentioned that she wants to go to her father's house. So if you remember this quest line, I don't. If we head over to Calcedon City, find her house. I don't remember where that is. It'll be one of these though. Okay, so it's not this one. It's definitely not that one. I'm gonna assume it's this one. Never mind. Maybe this one? So yeah, with that we get the Mewtwonite X and Mewtwonite Y. So pretty cool stuff, huh? Alright, let's see what they else have to say when we go in here though. That we get a password for the shiny charm. Isn't that cool? Yeah, pretty useless for us now. Alright. So yeah, now we just have to see what new dialogue is waiting for us in the nightclub, and then we can call this episode it. I'm glad this went swimmingly because when I did this on my own, this took absolute ages. I was really dreading this episode. Ooh, everyone's back! I can farm for battle points now. Not that it's that useful, but it's a thing I can do. Alright, let's talk to Shelly and the others. We have a lot of NPCs actually. Okay, let's see what Heather has to say. Okay, let's see what these two have to say here. Oh, looks like Noel's not up in the tree, by the way. Let's see what Lumi and Eve have to say. Alright, Eve. Okay, if there's any more dialogue, I'll clip and cut it, and you'll be able to see it all without me just running around talking to random ass people. Okay, so with that, we have finished this quest. There is not much to do now, because let me save here. Okay, you know what? Let me combine this with this thing because of last episode. The next one. Okay, never mind, actually. Actually, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna end it here, but let me just save once more. Alright. And then F12. We have caught 806 out of the 807 Pokemon available. So I'm sure you can imagine that we are pretty much literally at the end. We only have, what, 1 to 3 episodes left, possibly? Actually counting it here, yes, that is the case. So yeah, pretty much, I think by next episode, if not the next episode, we will be finished with this entire playthrough. Yeah, so I'm going to be hard at work here. I literally have like a day before the semester starts for me. I mean, I still have time, obviously. But I intend on finishing this pretty much ASAP, as soon as tomorrow, my time, which will be the 26th for me. Maybe the episode would be out later, but whatever. So yeah, I hope today's episode wasn't too bad. Honestly, I'm really glad I can end this walkthrough because this has taken way too long. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'll probably figure it out very soon. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I hope you're able to get through this quest. 3 pretty tough battles, IMO, but if you follow something similar to what I did, maybe you can get through it. Alright, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.